Welcome. A couple days ago, I was going through this clutch security website, which is very beautiful, by the way, and I came across this section where they were showing the brands that use them, and it was a very interactive logo review kind of thing. So I was wondering, can I create this in Rive? So I tried my best, and we got close enough. So this is where we got to, right? So this is the inspiration, and I've learned a lot in the process, and I want to share with you how you can create something like this as well. So in this video, we're going to be going through all of that and more. Let's get into it. Firstly, the major stuff starts in Figma. How are you going to set up your file to make sure that it's going to be easy for you to set it up? Previously, I tried different ways of making the text interactive, or the text aligned to the angle I want, and I found the best way to do that, and I'll be showing you now. Yeah, to do this. Previously, I used to align it myself. I'll try to get the text, try to align it, but it wasn't perfect. So what you're gonna do: create a new frame. So F frame. You can use like a desktop or a simple social media one like Instagram post. Where is it? Instagram post. Okay. So you can call it like Rive test. Doesn't matter. It seems that everything labeled in Figma is not going to be labeled in Rive, but I like to label for the sake of it because it's helpful to label. So you draw a line, and in that line you can give this 600 pixels, center it. They call this 91, and then you can duplicate it. They're going to give it so yeah, it depends on what increment you want to do. You can do 15 increments, 5 increments, 10 increments. I think I've been using for the past months I've been doing all this well over a year. It has been 10 increments. I'm thinking of doing 5 increments because if you look at the website here, there's going to be some more that's not going to be used. So I'm trying to account for that. So if this, let's assume this is 20 divided by 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I'm doing. 6. Let's see. About 5. 0, 5, 10, 15. You can do 15 increments. So we could do 5 increments. So it would be plus 5. I just duplicate that. Yeah, Figma has this nice feature where as you keep duplicating, your past actions are gonna align. So yeah, something I like a lot. You can hide this one. It's going to make this one look special here, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, this is just the beginning section. We are just trying to like get the angles right and the lines right. This is going to act as a line here. That's important. So we're going to, let me delete this one and select everything. Ctrl G, call it lines. 600 by 600. So now you need a circle. So I'm going to put these lines into 2. So one, hide one. The second one, we're going to. So this is the lines. I'm going to call this circle. We're going to use this circle to clip the lines. So this lines now, we're going to come over here, right click, give it outline stroke, and right click, flatten. So that's a vector. So when this circle comes with it, it's just going to subtract. My bad. Circle is meant to be on top of it. So circle on top, line on the bottom. Then you subtract, and you see you have these lines now. You have this, and now you can also flatten it again. Flatten lines. I think I flattened everything too early. Let's go back. I might see the circle. So let's call this like small lines. So that's step one.
Now step two is that you have to look at this. There are some lines that are not as long, and there's some lines that are long. How can we make this variation in our lines? So we can use the second line again. So duplicate it again, might in the another line. So this one. So remember, this small line is the one on top. So we can give it the gray color. This color, yeah. Can be this for the small lines. And for the big lines that we have now, we're going to come over here, get the circle that we took from this one, paste it over here, or paste it here. This line size big. We're going to yeah, we're going to have to increase the line. We're going to have to increase the line. Let's see if we can increase it with just a little bit more, 24 pixels more, because the base of the circle same needs to remain the same. So if you outline a stroke and you flatten it and you put the circle on top and you subtract, so now you have small lines and you have big lines. You can see small lines and big lines, small lines and big lines. Now that's one. Now the next step is to quote unquote start sorting it out. How do you want it to look like? It's going to be big line, small small, big, big, small small, big. So you just have to clean it up. It's going to take a while, but remember this is the big line, and that's the small line. So when you do that, keep that in mind. You can so I'm going to duplicate these two again and hide one. I'm hiding because in case we make any mistake, we can always have a fallback to fall back on. So flatten. So we'll start for the big one here. This is the big one. That's true. Let me make a line here for the center. Because we need to, so line center lock. I need to know where we're starting from. I'll leave it unlocked. I'll still need to what's it called? Okay, and it can be a bit confusing, I'm sorry. But let's bring this one down. Cool. Okay, now we start from here. So in the small lines, press enter. Small, this is not going to be small, this is going to be big. This small, small, big, small, small, big, small, small, big, small, small, big, small, 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 big, 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 small, small, big. Oh shit. Big, small, small, 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 big. Okay, yep, that's it now. I need to get a while, but because in the small lines, the big lines are still here, but big lines are not the problem per se. Because now the big lines are everywhere, but now go to small lines. You can do that for the big lines as well. For the big lines, nicely. Yeah, this is what happened when we separate everything. But yeah, it works. So I'm just gonna do that again fast and fast forward. Removing the big lines, removing the small lines. Big, small, small. Big, small, small. Small, small, big, small. Small, big, small, small. Okay, so that's it now. If you notice now, we have small, big, small, big, small, big, small, big. And what we're going to do is to try to align all of our text and logos and everything around the big ones. That's clearer. So it took a while, but now you can either combine everything together, like call these lines and give it like one group lines, or you can flatten it. For now, I'll just leave it like this. So this center one now, it's going to be locked, but I want to cause the base. So I'm going to get the circle from here, paste it here. For this center one, I'm going to put the circle on top. I'm also going to subtract again. So yeah, it's going to be line lock, line lock. This line is not going to move, while the rest of the circle moves. Like this line is not going to move. This line is going to look like. So basically, I bring in the interaction that's going to happen on Rive, doing this in Figma first, trying to see how it's going to look like. If you can figure that part out, it's going to be a lot easier. So we end up using this still hidden. What next? We need the logos that we're going to do. So I'm just going to use Jaguar animals and the likes. I guess we could use something interesting like entrepreneurs are like good one. So entrepreneurs are like, let's start with Steve Jobs. Yeah. Now something that's very important is that when you are doing this thing, if you notice now, the one I did over here, I let some text be too close to this, so it's making it look too tight. In the example here, you notice that there is enough space here, so important to keep that in mind. Because if it's the amount of space that you leave is the amount of space that you're gonna have left or something like that, So one that's I like to do is to give the text enough space, like because some text can be longer, shorter, and like so. I like to give them enough space. Use the tight fonts too, so enter tights. So it's gonna be you can also use the text size. One thing to remember is that whatever you do here on Figma, when you move it to Rive, you cannot edit it again. You can only make it animated. On Rive, it's either you make all this thing from scratch there, because if you move text from Figma to Rive, you can't really edit it anymore, which is sad, but that's the reality right now. And yeah, I'm sure there's a way to do it on Rive, but it's going to take longer because I'm used to using Figma. But I know there's a way to do it on Rive. This is going to take longer. Some tricks are not there, I know. So I need that circle that I was using here before. So that circle, this one, is going to be my rotator. So I'm going to give the circle and this one, Control Alt G is a frame, rotate frame, rotates frame. I spelled rotate wrongly. Yeah. So sorry, it's my rotate frame, and I'm going to use it. So for example, now if I come in and I see, so I'm going to reduce this rotate frame back to this circle alone. Why? Because Figma works in a way that if you do this, it's going to, can you see this? So I'm trying to do that. I'm just rotating the circle, but this one just happens to be in there. So I'm going to duplicate this Steve Jobs now. I'm going to rotate the frame so 15. You can see? So mistake. This Steve Jobs one goes outside. So when you rotate one goes outside. Give the rotate frame 15. And you can see now it lines up perfectly without you having to do it manually by yourself. This is what I found out and bro. Before I found this out, it was so stressful. So now just duplicate this again. Bring the other one outside. Rotate frame. Plus another 15. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do. Let's do it fast. Let me do it fast. Bring one outside. And rotate frame 45. Duplicate. Bring one outside. Rotate another frame. 60. Duplicate, big one outside, another frame 75. Duplicate, big one outside, do another frame 90. So basically this is the drill. Duplicate plus 15 105. Okay. Duplicate, big another frame. Duplicate, I guess. 105 plus 105. That's plus 15. That's 120. That's 135. as 150. Duplicate. Make another side as 165. Duplicate. As 180. Duplicate. As 195. Duplicate. Make another side. That is 150 again. So you can keep going 195. So 195 plus 15. So 10. So 10 plus 15 is what? 225. So I'm gonna try 225 now. Let's see. Yeah, 225. Okay. I have not duplicated it. Duplicate. Make another side. I say 225. 225. You see? Duplicate. Make another side. 225 plus 15. 240. And then duplicate again. Make another side. Actually, you don't need to do the whole thing, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to do the whole thing. 240, 260, 240, 255. Duplicate. 270. Duplicate. 270. 285. 285. 300. 315. 330. 345. And 360 is 0. So basically that's it. And you bring this one out here, and that's rotate frame again. You can hide it here. And you can see this is everything here. So now if you have it like this now, Steve Jobs, this works. So what I might do now is just like run it all up and give it a Control G text. The thing is that when we move it to Rive, but signals have to clean it up again. That's the main part. Well, in Figma now it's almost perfect. Like rotate it works well, rotates well, and yeah. So Steve Jobs, you can just anything. Bill Gates, Ivan Krampol, even no man. I can't even spell the name well. Okay. Andrew Winconsin. I can't spell his name well. Again, Dino. Ali Abdal. Danko. I'm thinking of that I did. Maybe that I live show. Okay. I didn't pick it for history class. Oh my god. I can't buy anybody else. Akil right there. This is the founder of Sony. I don't know anybody else. What I need to think about? Entrepreneurs. But my brain is not thinking. Steve Jobs. Maybe learn. Let's go online and check my name. Sorry. I can't trust myself. Let me take this on to the next screen. Yes, I can see. It's like Henry Ford. Thomas Edison. Rockefeller. I have this book. I have to just books too. Rockefeller. Nikola Tesla. Elon Musk. And this is why I made the text box very big. If it was very small, any small text, let me show you an example now. Let's say this is like this. And I was like, write something else. Okay, it works. Okay, maybe it works. I'll let you something else, but it's going to affect the space. It's just going to shake it. So I don't like. But yeah, anyways, it works. Walt Disney. Ray Kroc. For McDonald's, Ray Kroc. Akio Morita, yeah. I got this funny right. Coco Chanel. Estee Lauder. Oh, Estee Lauder. That's a lady. She now founded beauty industry. She's a lady though. Very, very strict person like this. Estee Lauder. Howard Hughes. Richard Branson. I don't know Richard. I don't know Richard Branson. Sam Walton. Founder of Walmart. Great guy. Sam Walton. Steve. Charlie Munger. Where do I know? Social Honda. Soichiro Honda. Ingvar Kamprad. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to spell the other time. Ingvar Kamprad. Yeah. Ingvar. I just give me the names of people. Kamprad. So don't mind if Kamprad. I'm sorry that I'm geeking over names. I'm sorry. What else? Richard Branson. How it is? Larry Page. Founder of Oracle. Larry Page. Jeff Bezos. How do I forget the guy? Jeff Bezos. Jack Ma. Alibaba. Sergey Brin. Google. Larry Page. I don't know Sergey. Larry Page. Mark Zuckerberg. In India, what's his name? I can't remember his name. But yeah, basically this is it. So now we have enter, text frame, lines and stuff. Yeah, this now we can move everything to this thing. So what we're gonna do is just to duplicate this one. So we delete anything that we don't need here. That we think we don't need. Because we always need something to be surprised. So this new one. Text frame, good. Rotate frame, unlikely, but we might need a circle again. So I'm gonna leave it up here. Cancel this one. Small lines, big lines. Cancel this. So we have the lines lock. We have the lines here. And yeah, okay, cool. So let us move it to Rive. So we're going to just copy as SVG. Copy as SVG. Where's Rive? Open Rive. Look at the new file. Let's go to the new file. I did it multiple times. So new file. Let's call it drag interaction in Rive. Let's go social media, Instagram post. O1. Oh, main file. Yeah, now you paste it here. One thing is that we don't want this thing to have background. You understand the bits, but it should have background. But yes, understand some why. Now bring this one over here. Align center and stuff. Make it out. Hey. So look, I have a class soon. Okay, so let's be fast. I might have done something that did not make sense now. Shit. Okay, I think the way I copied it is the fault it's in. Delete. I'm gonna copy it again. This time I'm gonna lock everything. So this line that here. Oh my god of Salam. Flatten it. Lines. Now let's copy it again. Let's see. Sometimes the way you copy it to Rive may affect the whole thing. So paste again. Okay. Trying to understand what did I do wrong. I said we get this. So let's see. Text frame. Circle. Line lock. Lines. I don't get what the issue is then. I've not had this issue before. I'm surprised. So one last thing we can do is to copy separately, which is annoying now. But if you cannot copy it on your own, I think it's because of this thing. So I'm going to try to remove the text. Copy this, control, and put this text somewhere else. Copy this, control, that's SVG. I don't get why it's clipping. Exactly. Possibly did it already. So this is basically all the lines. Ctrl G. Lines. If you rotate it, oh, I took the background as well. And now if you rotate it, you can see now. So that's the BG shape. This is the line that I want to lock. Line lock. This one I don't want the line to move at all, so I'm going to lock it later on. I'm going to lock it here. So now this circle is the one we're going to use for rotating, controlling some centers at some point. For now, what I'm going to do is just to get the center of the circle, and it was here I saw that box. So yeah, it's going to make it easier for us to get center circle, because now circle, you can see the center is here, This center is very important for us, so I'm gonna use that one. That's why I get that rectangle. Place it inside here, and this one, this one, bring it out of this pasted. Come here. Okay. Now that is that. Now let's bring our text. I think because the text is still editable, that's the reason why it was having an issue. If I bring it as this again, copy as SVG, and I bring it into assets, paste. This is never centered well again. That's number one. Number two. But yeah, it works though. So this is what I wanted to avoid. This is not it. I've not had this problem before, but the thing is that we want this to be. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Copy as it again. This is a text here. This is not related to this one, but the size supposed to be bigger than this. This line, lock it. Ellipse, lock it. I don't lock it. This one is the main one now. I think because not all texts are the same size. Over here, they're all the same size. If you notice, but when you bring it out of it, so if I duplicate this and I flatten it, see they're not the same size anymore. This is what happens when you take it to Rive. You flatten it. So now if you try to align it, you see it's not gonna align anymore. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Oh my god, it's a new problem. Oh. Okay, I have an idea. Bring it to this one. One is happy, one is not happy. So I'm gonna see what does it need to be. Okay, perfect, right? You know what? I'm gonna do this one again. This frame, duplicate, and I'll give it flatten, align, same. Alright, one is here. You can tell the difference. Cool. So I'm gonna now copy this one. Copy as SVG. Bring it the way here. Reset it here. Yeah, any problem. But now we can just align it. So what was it? That is 5.75, 94.15. This is annoying. This is annoying. Position 35.7. And what's 94.15. And yeah, you see, now we centered exactly. And we can copy this text. So this is one way to do it, where you just hack your way through. So now we want this origin to be at the center, because when you rotate it, it rotates like this, and we don't want that. We want it to rotate from the center. So press Y to freeze, and we're going to bring this center all the way to this black dot that we made here. Okay, cool, done. Then when we do the text, we're going to do it like this, and that's very important.
So now this is where we start doing the
interaction stuff. Go to animate. We don't need this one at the moment. I don't think we need it. Rectangle, we don't need it as well. So we can just come here like Komoji. Rotate help. They're not really important, but they're helpful to help with the process. Line block, line lock, line. This one we're going to use it at some point. So BG, cool. We're going to turn this off soon, but for now we're going to turn it on. The timeline, let's say line rotates. We're going to rotate the timeline and we're going to rotate the text separately. Text rotates. Text rotates. You understand why soon? For now, line rotates. Or let's do text rotates first. That's more fun for you. So come to the text. You set the rotation. You come by here, do 360 or something. You see that the longer it is, it's gonna be faster. It's gonna make your eye jar. So what I like to do is just use 60. You don't need that much. You see it, and it still looks okay. So now doing that, we're gonna come back to line rotate. You can always change later on, but I can do the same thing again. 0, 60. Oh, sorry, I meant to do the text. So line rotate, I mean. Over here, and give it 0. Over here. So now you have the two set machine. Now in the set machine, you're gonna have, this is layer 1, I guess. Let's call layer 1. Let's see the way it was. We're going to need an input, number inputs. This for line rotates, and we're gonna do that one again. One for text rotates. As I'm going to show you something very important. We're going to use line rotates. I'm going to duplicate layer. But before duplicate layer, let me show you something. So this line rotates. I'll come here to blend, inputs, line rotates, timeline, starts, line rotates. Oh, remember something? I made a mistake somewhere. It's going to be line rotates, starts, duplicate it, line rotates, end. I keep forgetting that part. So line rotate starts. Just focus on the stats. Copy the end here. So the stats is just the first interaction. It's not going to animate. Line rotate end. Forget the first interaction and focus on the last interaction, which is the bent already. Then it comes to state machine. Blend this together. Line rotate starts plus line rotate end. Line rotate end is going to have 100. Line rotate is going to have 0. And now in line rotate, remember your input is line rotate. Once you play it and you move line rotate, it's going to move between 0 and 1. It'll be 0 and 100. Because you put start here and end here. You get what I mean? We're going to do the same thing for this one. So text rotates starts. Because text rotates end. So text rotates end. And end is going to move to the end. Starts, delete the end. So yeah, set machine, line rotates, duplicates layer, text rotates, blend, input is what text rotates, timeline, change timeline for text rotates starts. And doesn't matter how you start it, just the number that matters though. So 100. And now this one to text rotates. Once you play it, so you can control it separately. The mistake I made previously was trying to control them at the same time, which is not going to work out well. Because if you not control them separately, you have more options. But if you use the same input field for both of them, so that's the thing. You can use input line rotates. So what this means is that when you play it, you can use line rotates to control both of them, which doesn't give you much optionality. So text rotates, and now when you play it, You see now, I'm talking about. So 0, 0. Very important.
That's how to use blend states, by the way. Blend states.
18. I have a class in a bit. But next, we're going to focus on the drag interaction. So we're going to create a new file now. We're going to call this a component. So in Rive, we're going to create a new social media Instagram post. This is where we're going to have to come back here. And this BG, we're going to hide it because we need to move it here. Instagram post new. Let's call this one new. And you press N, or you come press here, main file. It's going to show up here. Align it. Cool. So now this is very important. One last thing I forgot to show you is that when you're here, mistake I keep making sometimes too. Come to the text rotate and this one, record expose to print outboard. If you don't open this, this one wants to do here will not work. Very important. You have to open it. Press expose to print outboard. So when you come over here and you come to timeline and you say rotate timeline, rotate, or say text control. Say text rotate control something. And you come over here, animation, state machine, text rotate 0, 100. So I'm going to control the speed. Can you see that? Yeah. For the same thing, we're going to create a new one again. Timeline, line rotate control, line rotate control. And for that, we're going to come out to line rotate 0, 100. Yep. Cool. Test machine. And now in test machine, we're now going to create a what should we do now? I think we should create a slider. So this is the slider we're going to create. You don't have to use this method per se. You can just use a joystick. Apparently, if you use a joystick, but this is the method I use. With a joystick, you can just link it to touch the control and move it. You say play it. We have to use it in a demo. Okay, let me show you something. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Timeline demo, I guess. Yeah, let me go control the joystick. Okay, cancel. You know what? I'm not going to try to confuse you. My bad. Sorry. Delete this. We're going to do it again. This one is working. This is working. Cool. Test machine. We're going to create our own slider. Put it over here. Give it corner radius of like 60. Align it well. You can change the fill to black or something. Black. Give it a thing of a circle. So circle, bar, just circle, 0. Give circle a group. Call it circle group. Circle group. Very important later on. Now we're going to create a joystick now. Just create a joystick. Something like this. We're going to give it 0 width. We don't need the width. And we're going to undo source. I'm going to link it to circle group. I'm going to link the y-axis of, is it the y-axis or the x-axis? Yeah, y-axis, vertical y-axis to that should take control. Any of them works actually. So now undo source. Now the idea is that if we're not even controlling this, so we can link this thing and this one together, but we're not controlling this yet. So we need to control this. So this is where we duplicate this again. Control D, give it like design like 400%. Let me give it, make sure it's like 400%. We're gonna call this the hitbox. We're gonna give it red so we can see reduce opacity. Now that's one. Now we're going to create some listeners, because now we have inputs. By the way, this guy inputs is dragging. So it's going to be true or false, either yes or no. We're also going to create some listeners, and some of these listeners is going to be for this ones here. But before I do that, I want to show you something, which is like for this ones here. So this is detecting. This is the east box to track where your mouse move. But you're not going to understand it yet until I've done this. And I look back at like, oh, it makes sense. So let's follow that along. We're going to create a new timeline called detect. This text is going to make sure this circle, this each box is at 0. So 0, yes. 0. And then we're going to create a new one again. Track, timeline, track. This each box is at 400, where it is now. 400. Now we're going to go back to state machine. I'm going to say drag interaction, and we're going to say when we're detecting. So actually we can even change this to detect instead of bringing a new one. I'm change this one to track and move this one to track. So it says that if it dragging is true, track, and this one returns here. If it's dragging is false, go back to detect. Now what's the difference between detect and track? Detect is there's no each box. Track is there's each box. Each box is where it shows like our mouse is around it. So that's the idea. One last thing I've not done again is I'm doing a lot of things at the same time, so it's gonna be a bit confusing. I'm sorry. Is that we want to align this circle here. In fact, I want to align this whole circle box to this bar so it doesn't move around. So translation, come over here, go back to design phase, target the bar, one center. We're only copying the y-x axis, that means it's going to stay at this x point here. We're not copying the y axis because we want it to move up and down. So now, because we want it to move up and down, we're going to take it all the way up here. And we're going to give it the minimum value. We'll start moving it. So 200. Still moving. So now this is the minimum it can go. It cannot go above this. That's the minimum. Maximum is going to be down. So we're going to bring this down here as well. Maximum value, I'll say 400. Keep going. Yeah, so it's gonna go above this now. So animate now. Hit machine, and we can control this in this axis here. One other thing, let me show you what I mean. Like circle group now cannot go left or right. It can only go up and down, but it cannot pass this. That's the idea. So we'll go back to animate mode. I want to control this circle group by ourselves. We'll come back to the text. We want to text this. Now I need listeners. We've already done the logic, but we need a listener. So the listener is going to be this circle box is going to detect. So I'm going to call it circle detect. So this pointer down. Say when you press your mouse, so pointer down. Set. So I like to change that first. Input change. Selected with is dragging to true when pointer is down. So this again, press it again. Circle leave. Circle mouse leave. And that is when pointer goes up. Sets, you see, I like to change myself. So input change is dragging to false. What does this mean? It means that once I press, this thing goes big. When I leave it alone, this is the east box. Once I press it down, it goes big. When I leave it alone, it doesn't show up. That's what we're doing basically. Now this tracking is box. We're gonna come back again. Is box tracker. It's going to be once pointer move. Plus align targets. Align what's the target? This circle group. So what they're saying. So let's pause and play again. See? Because this circle group moves, this joystick moves. Because joystick moves, this animation moves. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's basically what we're doing. That is it. So now because we want to do the same thing for this other one, we're going to duplicate this joystick, Ctrl D, bring it to the side here, joystick 2. So joystick, you can say text joystick, I guess, text joystick. I'm going to say line joystick, and we're going to say line control there, and we can also invert it so it goes like the other way. So now with the same interaction, we can now control different interactions. If you want to make it more again, you can keep creating more stuff and just keep creating more joysticks to do the interaction you want to do. So that's basically not how the idea works. Up or down, pointer down, move, pointer up, move. And the point now is that some areas, what if from here, let's say you're here, how do you come down? It's not answering you. But only when you see the circle, because we're going to hide this. So let me show you something. We're going to hide this. We're going to circle group. We're going to call this the elements. The elements. And we're going to hide it. Like give it opacity 0. So on a normal day, how is someone going to know that? Because when you put on the website, you have to animate it, right? Play. How is someone going to know that? Where is anything? How does it work? That's the problem. So I'm going to bring this back up again just to show you something. You can see it is. I can't even see it. Okay, it's all the way down there. It's here. So all I'm going to do is to come over here to the bar it box. It's 400. I'm going to give it more. Make it bigger. That's the main hitbox. Is that the idea? Sorry. No, sorry. I mean, it's the circle we're going to make bigger. If you make the circle bigger, so no matter where you are within this box frame, it's going to work. So now, animate this element, take it to 0, animate, play. If you zoom in, you see, no matter where you are, so far you're pressing down, it's going to animate. Now design. I think the design is messed up now. Now I want to show you something, so clean it up. This design, you notice that there's some black here. So I want them to be the same color though. Just a little bit darker. Yeah. I want it to be the same color. Now it's gonna take a while to change. That's one. One that's now to do is so basically that's how it works. Then next thing you can do is just to create a pen like yeah. 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 Okay, so now it's a bit. And what this one does is that we're going to use it as white on the main file. Sorry. Why not the main file? I designed it to be here. I want it to be on top. It's meant to be an overlay. So it's not going to be feather outer. So the point, this is the point exactly. The point is to be able to do this. Just to do this. I want to cover everything very well. Now I'm gonna create a new one again. Clip. We're gonna call it a clip. We're gonna use this overlay clip by this. And this clip doesn't have to be shown totally, so you can take it to hide the fill, and that's it. So now if you go back to your new animate, you can play it and it's gonna look good. And if the range is so small, you want to have a bigger range, you just come over to the main file, come over to the animate of the main file, animate, look at the text research stats. What's it starting at? Look at it. What's it starting at? 0. What's the ending at? 60. You can just increase the range. You want it to end at maybe 180 instead. Okay. Line rotate at 0. What does it end at? 60. Yeah, give him be like 90 instead. I don't know. Then you come back to the main file again, and when you play, you notice that it has more range. You need to see very well. That's the thing. The small bit of range that changes the whole thing. Like it's really, that's the idea. Now there are more interactions we can do to copy this. Let me show you. So if you notice on this website here, there's still, let me close this thing. There's still this here, like this thing that shakes here, and the interaction that it's clips. I don't know to that clip on yet, but the thing that shakes, I figured it out over. Yeah, so where's the one I did my own? Because this one I was practicing with it. So if you play it here, this is, you can see this thing shakes. This thing shakes. Look at this here. It shakes. So basically, it's not that hard to make actually. But I have a class now, so I'm gonna go off. Thanks for being with me. I appreciate you. Hope you got value. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.